Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me.
I look at so many people today taking vacations and posting things on Facebook and wanting to be someplace other than what they have. That's not the same situation for us. We are a first-generation farm, and I believe when you're talking about a first-generation farm, it's something that you grow from nothing. It's something that you grow from an idea. Our idea was to have something that we knew where our food came from. We could be sustainable in that. We wouldn't grow so big that we couldn't offer our animals individual care, because we think that that's important, to not have something that is so big to where you can't take care of them individually or grow too fast. It's not something that we're necessarily doing. We have a lot of diversity in our farm, and I think that a lot of the times that holds each other's hands. So like, say, cattle, they're a little bit picky when they eat. Sheep, they kind of come behind and clean up what the cattle don't like. They also leave these lovely little potent pellets of fertilizer a bit more evenly than, say, the flat cow pies that the cattle leave. If you have pigs like we do, if you don't want to use a tiller or, grab the tractor and try to till things up, you can always throw the younger pigs out there, or the older pigs. Our older pigs don't root as much, but our young pigs are definitely not union workers. They work like crazy all the time, digging and tilling and fertilizing like pigs do. They want to dig holes and then they'll poop. It works great for that kind of a sustainability or regenerative type of farming. I'm doing my best to learn about regenerative farming. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing, but that's the joy of it. That's the journey. The journey is a heck of a lot more important than the destination, in my opinion. And I think that it's important to have your space become your own, whatever you start with. If it's 2 acres or 10 acres or 4 acres or 300 acres, good luck with that, by the way. But honestly, it's about what you can do with what you have. And I think that first generation farming starts with an idea, and then by the sweat of your brow, you create this entity that is all of your own. We started with a house, a garage, a 3-sided shed, a secondhand sort of shedish chicken coop thing, and 8 years later, we've got beef cows and dairy cows and sheep and heritage breed pigs and chickens. And honestly, the vacation aspect that seems to be mainstream America isn't what we want to be. It isn't where we want to go. We've developed this thing. So honestly, what I think first generation farming is you creating something from scratch that is all your own, and you've developed an area that you don't want to leave. It's an area that you don't need a vacation from, because it's what you want to do. It's where you want to be. And I think that's important in today's society. I think it's important how people build what they need to have. So for those of you that are first generation farmers or aspire to be, a farm doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, mean that you have 300 acres or you have 5. It's what you do with your space, I think, that makes it a farm or a homestead or a hobby farm, or it's anything. So much can be done today on a small plot of land or a large plot of land. Regenerative farming has changed kind of how people look at things. And in truth, I think that when you look at things as a whole, you'll come to realize that first generation farming isn't what you got passed down. It's what you created all on your own. Your work ethic, your sweat equity, your painful muscles and maybe even bum thumbs from with a hammer, like it's just, that's what I think. That's what I think when I think about where we've come in 8 years. It's an amazing feeling to know that we've built something with our own 2 hands, my husband and I, and now our children. It's very humbling to know that you can do different things with different ideals and different mindsets, and you can take from this and meld them all together and become your own. But I think it's important for you to do by yourself, because then if you don't do it by yourself and you have adapted from the rest of your family or acquired space or whatever, I think that you don't really understand how hard it is to start out from nothing and make it into something. And so I think it's important for a first generation farm or a first generation homesteader or whatever to start with this little plot, this little idea in your own head, and make it grow, make it be your own. And that's what I think. Here's a little ditty from Wild Ass Farm. Have a great day, guys.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.